So, are you feeling?
Yep. Okay.
All right. So I would like to have a little more instruction on, as I'm trying to learn to be more subtle and quiet in my cues versus ineffective.
Right.
As we get quieter, I see a lot of times in my videos that I'm watching, quiet is sometimes turning into that white noise that you talk about, that you say is nag, nag. It's just nagging.
We get stuck.
Nag,
and,
nag, nag, makes
you know,
go,
Pat
go, go.
talks about giving a nice long phase 1, you know, so that the horse has a chance to respond to it. But there's a reasonable amount of time before you need to up your phase of pressure to an ask, and then keep going until you get a response at whatever point that might be.
So if I stand there and I'm doing this
And nothing's happening.
and nothing's happening, it's,
you're waiting too long.
Okay.
I mean,
it's just a friendly game.
yeah. And
And really annoying friendly game.
Right. So, yeah. So it's like, okay, I'm just going to sit here and bounce the rope, and the horse is just going to tune you out, keep eating grass or whatever. And so that's not communicating.
Okay.
You know, it's like if you're doing your work and I'm over here going like that, but you're just like ignoring me because you're so into what you're doing. It's like all I'm doing is pestering you, and that becomes the white noise.
Okay.
You know?
And that's what makes dull horses, you said.
Yeah, I mean, we can get stuck in any phase of pressure, and it becomes white noise.
Okay, because when I first came to you, I got stuck and everything was like
right. So
10
like
for me.
Most of the time, people get stuck at a phase 3, which is the tell.
Okay.
Okay, so now they're, you know, swinging their popper or their stick and string, and they're, I'm so gonna, and they're just like slapping the ground. Well, that would be okay if you just had that, you know, rhythm of, you know, 1, 2, 3, and the horse responded to that. But now you're going to have to go to a higher phase of pressure. Don't stay too long, because now the horse is like, well, you know, now they're just going to slap the ground. So that's a friendly game, right? You have to get a response.
Okay.
So now you're going to start tagging the horse with that rhythm, and you need to get a response. So maybe you might, you know, flick them behind the elbow, or, you know, someplace where it kind of, you know, bothers them enough to respond. And then as soon as you get a response, you quit. And you're like, well, thank you. Thank you for your attention and respect. And then you start again, and you give a nice long phase 1. I'm suggesting, and the horse goes, yeah, whatever, you know, and don't let it become white noise.
Okay.
So whatever.
Does that change though over time?
Yeah.
Because at some point in time, I remember you saying you're waiting way too long. It's a long phase 1, but
yeah, they want to know. They want to know if you really mean it.
Yeah. And
or if you can be ignored.
Counting and saying, you know, it needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Not 1, 2, you know, which is what I was doing.
You do what you need to do to teach.
Okay.
Okay. And so all horses are different, so I can't say never say never.
Okay.
Okay. So you can go nice and slow with those horses that might be a little more reactive. Okay. And they need more time to think. So my right brain horse Remington, he needs a little more time, you know, because his little brain is like a hamster on a wheel, and he can't think, and he's like, I know this one. I know this one. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give him a chance. And then there are some horses that are more savvy, and they're more left brain, and they're always thinking, and, you know, like his sister Grassy. So, I mean, you need to be like polite, and I suggest, but I'm going to go ahead and get to that effective level of pressure sooner because of who she is.
Okay.
Yeah, so it just depends.
It always depends.
It just depends. Tom Dorrance said
and it depends on where they're at in that moment, because like I know when we were doing the pedal thing with Hinobi, he was really worried to begin with, and then at some point you said to me
He switched,
and now he's going to start throwing out new and different things to get out of it, because now he's going to say
now he's
no.
thinking. And great, that's the good news and the bad news.
Right.
Okay, now they're thinking, so now they're gonna.
But I noticed in my video when I rewatched it, you were much firmer and quicker with what you were saying. Now, tell him get that hip over now.
Right.
Whereas before
now that you're thinking,
you were saying give him a minute,
right.
give him a minute, and
right.
So that changed even in the hour.
So many times horses will make that change and people miss it.
Yeah, it's hard.
So
especially
you want
when
to
we're
slow
focused.
it down when they're acting right brain, and at the base of it is prey animal behavior. Okay, they're scared of anything and everything, because they're made to be afraid of stuff and to be claustrophobic, and things that don't look right, don't go and approach it, and things like that. But still, they will go, I'm not doing it. It's not a good idea, and I'm not doing it, and I'm going to go left, I'm going to go right, I'm going to,
so it's still survival.
I'm going to pin my ears, I'm going to get nasty about it. Right. And so we have to understand that and say, look, you need to do this, you need to do that, and you need to be trying. You need to stay straight. You can back up if you want to, but you're not giving in. You understand how they feel, and you're like, I'm just going to keep asking you to do it, and as long as you're trying, I'm not going to ask you. But I do require a try.
And I am giving the option to back away.
Yeah. And then pretty soon their left brain goes, well, heck, I might as well just figure out how to do this. Okay. And then that little birdie flies, and they go, okay, here I go.
Okay, so this is another reason you don't want to do white noise. You're never going to get that birdie flying if you do white noise.
No, you're just pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and the horse is like, no.
They have no chance to have that birdie fly, do they?
No.
Wow. That's very crippling to them then if we do that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That's important stuff then.
That, I was asked this morning, should I lead my horse into the trailer? And I said, no, he's not confident, right? No, he's not confident. I said, but he'll follow you in there. Yeah. Well, we need to get him to be brave and pull up his big boy pants, and he's got to go first. Okay? And however long it takes for him to figure out how to do it calmly with his head down, breathing, and he can retreat, he can go in. I don't care what you do, but you can't stay here. And pretty soon the horse just goes, I'm going to have to do this, aren't I? And you go, and you can. But they have to see you as a leader. It's real important.
Yeah.
Because if you're a big marshmallow or a big bully.
Well, again, a leader wouldn't be doing white noise.
Right.
Ever.
No nagging.
Can you imagine in the military? Somebody doing
there's
that?
no nagging.
No.
Yeah. And see, you're not gonna see the person as a dictator saying, right, you must do it. You're gonna see that person as a leader who's saying, I believe in you and I know you can do it.
So I'll say it's more like a mom, but if a mom just does white noise, she can't teach her baby anything.
Yeah, it's
somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, you need to be middle of the road. You can't be, hitting them over the head with a 2x4, and you can't be feeding them cookies all the way in, but you have to, back to that fluctuation of phases of pressure, keep trying, stay in the game. Okay. You can do this. If you need to get safe, I'll help you. And that horse starts to look at you like, now wait a minute, let me see if I got this right. I don't have to go in the trailer. I can retreat, but I can only retreat to go and try again. And the more I try, the better you make me feel. And suddenly that birdie flies in the trailer. And then they go, I knew I could do it all the time. Not really. But they believed in you believing in them.
Yeah.
So I think that a leader is somebody that believes in you and you believe in them. and they're going to take care of you. They're going to watch your back, and they wouldn't put you in trouble. But they're strong.
Okay, that helps.
Thank you.